Hey, what's up, everybody? Jed Johnson here from dieselcrew.com. Of course, you know they call me Napalm. I want to share something today that I'm pretty excited about because I've been thinking about this for a while. It took me a while to implement it, and we just did it last night, and I think it went extraordinarily well, so I want to tell everybody about it. First off, I want to say that you're not going to hear me say that I invented this. That would be totally ridiculous. However, I have never seen anybody do this before. I'm not saying that if you comb the internet, you won't find someone else doing this. And it's very possible that someone did this for years, but they never filmed it and put it up, or maybe it never never got documented. But this could be a slightly long video, so please bear with me. I just want to give you the explanation of how I came to this idea and the why behind it. So a few years ago, I set a goal for myself that I wanted to hit 150-pound dumbbells on flat bench for 10 reps. The reason why is I think I did this when I was in my early 20s, and I'm 45 now, but when I did it, if I did it, it was laying on a Swiss ball. So we used to do a lot of Swiss ball benching because we were worried about tearing our shoulders up. So in the bottom portion of a Swiss ball bench, you get a bounce out of it. So it's a little bit of an assistance, and it's not a true bench, right? Because you're getting assistance from like an outside force. So it kind of boosts you out of the hole. But I think back around those times, I think I got 150s for a set of 10. And if I didn't, then this will be like a lifetime PR for me, but that's the goal that I've set. So one of the reasons that I adopted the conjugate system was because I thought if I really worked on bench press with a barbell and got stronger, then that would correlate over to the 150s. And as it turns out, that didn't really work out that well because I ended up doing too much benching, and my pecs got really sore. So the insertions were really sore, and I had like these tight areas in the upper and lateral region of my pec major, and I tried to push through it, and it ended up being just stupid to keep doing so. So I don't know, probably a couple months ago, we transitioned away from barbell bench and went back to dumbbells. And started out with like 120s, and we were doing flat bench, we were doing inclines, and lo and behold, after a very short time, the insertions weren't sore anymore, and that pain in the upper chest wasn't there anymore. So I think it has something to do with being locked into the barbell. So when you're on the barbell, you don't have as much freedom of movement when you're benching. So, and I know this very well, but for whatever reason, I wasn't listening to my body. So, towards, I guess, the middle part of last year, I kind of remembered that my goal is the 150s, and I'm not doing much dumbbell work at all. And I was like, the other thing is I have 100s, 110s, 120s, and 150s here, but I don't have like anything in between the 120s and 150s. So I couldn't really do the volume work, if you will, in those intermediate weights. So, and that's how it's been for a really, really long time. So I was like, how can I get more reps with the 150s with a little bit of weight added? Maybe if I work above 150s. So I thought about adding magnets to the dumbbells, and that's all cool and all, but like when they move quick, the magnets slide like plate mates. Like I have them here, plate mates. So then I was like, what if we used accommodating resistance with chains? Which I know you can use accommodating resistance with bands, but I don't like that as much as I liked the idea of trying chains. So then the problem was, how are we going to attach the chains? So I thought about using plate loadable dumbbells, but I've seen videos where people have like maybe 60-pound in plate loadable dumbbells, and then the collar slips off and it like falls on their face. And what I didn't want to have happen was a bunch of quarters sliding off of the plate loadable dumbbell, landing on my face, or if they slide off the other direction, then you end up tearing a pec or something like that. Trying my best not to have any kind of catastrophic accidents and injuries taking place while I'm lifting, especially with weights above my face. So then I was like, well, if we use chains, we could put them on the handles. But I'm like, how are we going to put them on the handles? And I thought about like some heavy cord or something that we could clip the chains onto. I'm sure that would work. Never ended up trying it, because then I was like, what if we put cuffs, like ankle cuffs on the wrist? And I don't know why, but that was like probably like 4 to 6 months ago that I thought about that, and I never ended up implementing it. So the other thing that I thought of was ankle weights, and it turns out when I was watching a Louis Simmons video, he talked about somebody wearing ankle weights on the hands for their either bench press or overhead press work. I can't remember, it might have been incline. Never ended up trying that because, you know, one day I was walking over here, I was like, you know, I was thinking I didn't have any ankle cuffs, but I was walking over here and I realized I have ankle cuffs. You see, a couple of years ago, I bought these because I train women, and you know, they like to work the glutes. So I bought these so that we could do a variety of glute exercises. Well, we ended up getting away from that, and I forgot that I had these. So when I saw that I had these, I was like, we gotta try this, we gotta try this. So last night, it was chest day, but no, it was chest day, but we've kind of done max effort chest a lot lately, and not just heavy singles, but like heavier weights for slower reps. And I wanted to work speed, so I was like, that's it, tonight's the night, we're gonna use the ankle cuffs. So these ankle cuffs I got from D-Moose, www.dmoose.com, and they work really good. I've seen all kinds of ankle cuffs over the years. These looked real good, and I like the red coloring on them, kind of matches my gym, so these are the ones that I bought. And the way that they go on is you put the strap through, and then the easiest way is if you have a partner, then they can kind of pinch this real tight, and then the strap, see how they don't really stay where they need to? It's a lot easier if you have a partner. And then you just strap it down real tight, okay? And then we moved the D-rings to the outside. And then it was real easy to add the weights with a partner. If you try this, you know, you want to get them nice and tight, and then you probably don't want to keep taking them off because it's kind of frustrating. But it worked really well. So yeah, I covered all the background. So this is what we did. Got a good warm up, then we moved into our work sets. Wanted to hit at least 5 sets of at least 3 reps, and depending on how it was moving, you know, we might go up. So started out with the 100s, and we did not use a lead chain. So what you're going to see is the chains are carabinered together, and then the carabiner attaches to the cuff on the wrist. And then as you're benching upwards, pressing upwards, more chain comes off the ground. That's accommodating resistance. However, what I realized was we didn't have a lead chain. And generally on bench, squat, and overhead press, we use a lead chain for the presses, or at least that's standard for this type of powerlifting training. So I did 2 sets at 100 with no lead, I felt on set 1 the speed was good. I felt on set 2 the speed was even better. So then that's when I realized I didn't have a lead chain on there, so I went and grabbed this a chain that's essentially just like a dog chain, maybe a little bit bigger than a standard dog chain. Made a loop in the lead chain that's maybe a foot long, and then we put the big chain through that. Oh, incidentally, I forgot to mention, the big chain that we're using in this is a 20-pound chain. So it's right around 20 pounds on a scale. I don't think I've ever weighed the dog chain alone, so I'm not sure how much that weighs. But at the top, when we used no lead, the chain was fully off the ground. So at the top, you've got 120 pounds at lockout. So just to review, I did 100s with no lead. I got 5 good speed reps. And when Evan did it, 100s, no lead, he got really slow by rep 3. You're going to see that his speed is not nearly as good as mine. My dumbbell bench is a little bit better than his, but we didn't want to keep changing weights, so he just kind of went along with the heavier, slower stuff. That's fine. On the 3rd set, I did 100s with a lead chain, and the speed was even better. And still, with the lead chain on there at the top, got just about all of the links off the floor. It was like, I don't know, 3 links maybe still touching the floor. So I'm sure it was still 20 pounds at least off the floor if you count the dog chain, or damn close to it. And with that lead chain, I was able to kind of blast through the initial range of motion, because I'm just lifting primarily the dog chain, and then once the bigger chain starts to engage more, then it slows down a little bit, but I thought the speed was pretty darn good. So I felt I still had 2 sets in me, so I went up to the 110s next. So now you're going to see 110s with a lead chain and the 20-pound heavy chain, and I felt that I had pretty good speed for the first 4. The 5th one was a little bit slower. For Evan, when he did the 110s, they were pretty much grinders completely. He got 1 to lock out, and then I spotted him to get another one, and he said he felt something in his pec, so he didn't do the last set. So then, I mean, they felt pretty good, so I was like, well, let's try the 120s. So I did the 120s with a lead chain and the heavy chain, and I got 3 reps, but they were pretty slow, so I would not say that was good speed at all. I was pretty happy. I'll also throw in there that I don't like pull the dumbbells down on speed day, because I just don't want to. I want to keep the dumbbells right where I want them, so my focus on speed is usually only through the concentric phase. That's just a safety thing, or maybe even a confidence thing. I think with some lighter dumbbells, I could pull down faster and it would be no problem, but just kind of managing risk, on my speed press, bench press, I usually control the descent more than most people do. That's neither here nor there. So we're going to roll into the footage, but I really like this. And again, this was speed day, so the stuff is lighter. So the objective was to move all of these weights really fast. I think 4 out of those 5 sets, I did that really well, did a good job of that. Now, the next thing that I'm looking forward to doing is the max effort day, where we add chains. So I think what I will do first is I will go with the lead chain on the 150s for the work sets to get used to it. So I'll have that boost out of the bottom where I'm not moving a lot of chain, and then it'll catch and I'll be locking out with more chain resistance. Gonna have to see how that goes. I don't know how many reps I'll be able to get, because last time I did the 150s, I think we've done them flat 3 times. I think I went 3-2-1 the first time, and then 3-2-2 the second time, and then the third time 3-3-3. So I improved over those 3 sessions. I'm excited to see what I can get with the chains. Maybe it'll only be 1 rep. So I don't know how we'll do it. Maybe we'll do 3 sets and maybe get 3 singles. And then if I can do that, maybe I'll add another heavy chain to the lead chain. So the next heavy chain I might use, I believe, is an 8-pound heavy chain. So that'll be about roughly 28-30 pounds at the top of the range. So you know, that's all conjecture right now because I haven't done it yet, but that's the idea. So you know, I wanted to put this together because I'm excited about the new style of dumbbell training. You know, maybe there's people out there that don't really care about barbell bench and they focus more on dumbbells, and maybe this can help people out. Maybe people who generally focus on barbells want to use dumbbells, but they don't have dumbbells over 100s, and maybe their barbell bench is, you know, far advanced so that 100s don't really even test them. Maybe this method can help people out, adding chains to ankle cuffs so they can utilize those 100s for some good quality work that actually tests them. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section. If you know, share this around if you like. Be sure to subscribe. I will have more videos coming out as we continue to expand upon this technique. I'll say that the stability was really good, and that's one thing that I think is cool about chains is you don't have as much vibrating and as much varying off of the path with chains. What might come up in the video is you'll hear me say let it settle or let it gather everything, because the chains do shift a little bit as you lean back into the flat bench. The chains will shift, so you want to make sure that they've kind of settled down before you start pressing. Safety is always something that I'm watching for. So, you know, you don't want to have an injury because you try something new and something shifts on you. So I see less risk in chains than with bands. And I have done dumbbell benching with a band added in the past, and I think that it's a good way to train, but maybe just a little bit more risk there. So, you know, I think I've covered everything. Like I said, if you have questions, let me know. Appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed the footage. Any questions, post them below. Thanks. Take care. Three, 4, come on. Yep. Come on. Come on. Come on. got this now. Come on. 1, 2, come on. 3, 4, 5. They're slow. I'll only do 3.